Um, I don't know if you can end the season any better in a sense of walking away with a championship. And with this team, after losing Josh, and then obviously being appointed head coach from day one, just coming in with a vision of just having that mindset of doing whatever we need to do to compete for a championship. I think our guys, staff, everybody bought in from day one, worked their tails off, and obviously, put ourselves in position to get here and to obviously win it at home in front of your crowd, which I thought was tremendous tonight. It's a great feeling, but again, just got to compliment the staff and the young men that I was put in charge of the league. They were great, and it was a complete team effort all around.
Coach, you mentioned even after the second game, that edge, that energy, and assertiveness, especially on the defensive end, was going to be key. And it seemed like, for the most part, you had that again tonight. Did you feel that way?
Well, yeah. Even early on, our thing to our guys was, I respect Coach Ellis. He's been doing this for a long time. His team is going to come out and compete. So my thing to our guys was, expect that, but we have to stay the course. And they started off really good, but my thing was always continue to just play hard, push it, make them get up and down the floor, and let fatigue come into play. And I thought as the game lengthened, I thought it did, but it started with us obviously locking in on the defensive end of the floor. I think one of the assistants came to me at one point and said they had not scored for a while. Maybe it was after the 10-minute mark. It was so much stuff going in and out the ears today. So going into halftime, I thought it was great in the sense of, I want to say we only had 2 turnovers, which was good. There were 0 from 8 from three-point range, and we had only given up 3 offensive rebounds. And conversely, had gotten 7 ourselves. So the focus was continuing to do that for the next 20 minutes.
How big of a factor was it having 2 of their big guys get 3 fouls in the first half, Coach?
Gosh, you know what? I really didn't. Not that I don't want to say I didn't notice it, but at the end of the day, I just feel like, put our guys out there and just let them play. And, when he, switched up the lineup, obviously Wiggins hadn't played all year, and then he went with the 4 guards and the big. The game plan really didn't change, whether the big was in or out of the games. It was more about creating tempo and letting fatigue take its course.
Coach, going forward, what does it mean for the program to have this championship and, so many guys coming back out there?
Again, when we talked about it, when we set out, obviously everybody goes is, obviously postseason play. And, it starts from the NCAA. Everybody wants to play in the NCAA. Then the NIT, and then the CBI, and then maybe the CIT. But at the end of the day, it's postseason play. And with this group, again, I felt like even after losing Josh, we were really an inexperienced group because we relied on him so much last year that I was telling guys, or we as a staff were telling guys, their roles were going to be different. So it was the first time, them playing in these roles. HD, JJ, Al, Jason was still the same, but everybody else roles grew in a sense of what we were trying to do. So we were young in that instance. And then, obviously, after the Mountain West tournament, it was kind of hard to kind of, end your year like that. So I was excited about this opportunity, and then the experience of playing in postseason play, and then at the end of the day, playing for a championship. You can't what's the word? You can't make that up in practice. Like, you can't say, okay, all right, guys, we're gonna play for a championship and then in practice. That doesn't carry over. But to be actually in the situation, to me, could only help us going forward. So excited, obviously for what Jason has done for the program. And even Morris, even though he wasn't healthy enough to contribute, but he was a tremendous teammate and a very good example. As those guys are moving on, and having, the 3 guys that were sitting out this year and then the 3 guys coming in, I'm pretty excited about, the possibilities of next year.
You know,
Was able to get Jason a championship and have him, this family here, and being from the home state. Can you elaborate just on how much he meant to your program this year?
I mean, Jason's a great kid. His whole situation, his family, him, and then even, he's a guy that doesn't have any ego, no pride. It's all about, coach, whatever I need to do. And, throughout the year, I probably rode him maybe a little bit too hard in the sense of how many minutes I kept him on the floor. But, to get to this point and get to the CBI and then talk about, I may not play you as much, didn't really change his, demeanor. Whatever you need, coach, I want to play for a championship. And then Alex got kind of hurt a little bit, so I ended up using him more than I really wanted to. But, he's always been a team guy. He's always been a team guy. And, whatever that guy chooses to do in the future, man, he's going to be successful.
you've had a lot of different guys, step up on different nights, but I know HD didn't have maybe his best shooting games in some of the previous tournament games, but really came out tonight and was big. Just how big was that? I know JJ was big a game and was MVP, but how big was Hayden tonight in your mind?
I thought he was huge, and to be honest with you, I felt like it was coming. I felt like tonight was it, because he hadn't shot it well. At some point you're like, well, he's got to. The forces of nature has to take its course. But the one thing I love about H is he's a player. He loves playing. He's a competitor, and when he's out there, he plays hard. Regardless of if it's a shot going in or not, it was going in tonight. But I just felt like he did a lot of other things that really helped. He got on the glass and rebound, and our guys get knocked because of being thin. But I thought there was a lot of fight in those guys tonight to really get in there and rebound the basketball. But his play tonight, I think, was the difference in the sense of separation with the score. So I was happy to get him back in a sense of making shots. But at the end of the day, I thought for the most part everybody did something to help out today.
What were your thoughts on Justin being MVP of the tournament?
Justin's a talented kid. My thing is always, I'm always just trying to get him to understand how to do it. Sometimes his ability and his gifts, some of it you just can't coach. And I tell him that I get that. And sometimes I'm saying, okay, well, you're just trying to do too much. But I think he's found that balance. And even tonight, again, when he has it going, like I said, he didn't shoot the ball well tonight. But just playing off the dribble, rebounding the basketball, and making an extra pass, I thought was huge. But I think he's a kid that when you look at the overall talent in this league, there's no way you can't say he's not one of the most talented kids in this league.
Is he going to start next year?
I don't want to talk ahead of time, but it wasn't about stuff. Again, that's what I loved about this team. They removed, their pride, but obviously, JJ, if you wanted to chalk it up, he's our best player, but that didn't mean, Coach, I needed to start to prove that. So he really removed his ego as a player, but naturally you can just again see his talent. So going forward, I would hope so. I think again he makes a difference, but regardless, he'll play major minutes.
Any word on Al? I know when he left, he was on crutches after the game. And you get any initial word on his condition?
Just ankle, twisted ankle.
Twisted ankle.
Yeah. I thought the first one in the first half, I thought that looked bad from my angle. I thought his knee was gone, and I was surprised that he got up. But You know, a lot of guys give Al crap about, you know, again, Al and HD being the thin guys. But man, when I saw that, I thought he was done for real. So for him to get up and fight through that, again, that's a step, you know, for that kid to be able to get back out and still be able to contribute to the program. But you know, like I told everybody, it's the last game, man. Leave it all out there. You know, there's no need to reserve anything, you know, right now. So I'm sure if he could have played with the ankle, you know, Lance came to me about maybe a few minutes after and said they tried to retape it and he couldn't put pressure on. So he was done.